Innova, the industry leader in diagnostic tools and equipment for the past 30 years, is now offering Repair Solutions, an incredible online service aimed to help you diagnose, repair, and maintain your vehicle. Premium members on Repair Solutions will have access to verified fixes provided by actual factory-trained technicians, step-by-step instructions to help guide you through the repair process, and even how-to videos to demonstrate each repair. For more information, please visit us at Innova.com.
Our repair vehicle is a 2000 Honda Civic 1.6 dual overhead cam engine, and we're going to replace our igniter. The tools required for our repair is a small Phillips screwdriver, medium Phillips screwdriver, and a large Phillips head screwdriver. First, what we want to do is we want to remove our distributor cap. We have 3 screws, 2 on top, 1 on the underside. So let's just go ahead, loosen all 3 before we remove any single screw. Once we have our screws removed, we're going to gently move this to one side, and we're going to remove our rotor. There's a set screw on the back side. We're just going to get in there and unscrew that. We don't want it to fall into the engine compartment. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to remove our rotor. We're going to set it aside. What we're going to do is we're going to remove our cover to access our igniter right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove our igniter. We're going to loosen our screws down here on our igniter plate. And then what we're going to do is we're going to remove our 2 wires off our coil. So we're going to remove this one, the upper one. Then we're going to remove our lower one. We're going to pull our wires aside. And then we're going to finish removing our igniter plate. I'm going to gently pull this out. What we're going to do is we're going to remove our 2 screws for our bracket. What we want to do is compare our replacement part with our original. We want to make sure that our connections are there for this, our mounting's the same, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take 1 wire off at a time so we don't mix them up and install them. So what we're going to do is we're going to start from the top, and we're going to install our wires 1 at a time on our replacement part. So we're going to take this first one off. We're going to install it. We're going to take our second wire off, and we'll install that. We're going to take our third wire off, install it. And then our 4th wire goes on the end. We want to make sure these connections are good, nice and tight. What we also want to do is we want to check and make sure they're not crossed up so we can actually get them back on our coil. It looks like we can probably take this one back off. And move it down to here. So now when we go back to replace it, our coil wires are in the proper location. So now, let's go ahead and install our mounting plate Make sure these are nice and tight. Start them both first before you tighten either screw. We're going to slide it in there. So we'll just take our screws. We'll set it in there. We want to get it started, but we don't want to tighten it. Then we can install our igniter cover, and we'll install our rotor. We need to put our set screw in there. You want to make sure that you don't cross thread this screw. You want to make sure it's pretty tight. After you get your set screw installed, you want to pull on this, make sure it's not going to move. So before we install our cap, we want to make sure there's no debris. Everything looks good. We're going to set our cap on here. We're going to install our screws. We want to get all our screws installed and started first before we tighten a single one. Once we get them all started, we can tighten them up. Once we get on it, give it a good shake, tug, make sure it's firm, tight. And we want to go back and we want to check our spark plug wires, make sure they're all seated down. So now that concludes our installation. So let's start it up and see how she runs. Sounds great.
Visit us at Innova.com and subscribe to Repair Solution Services.